What up? It's your boy Joe T, and this is Bless This Conversation. And today I have
Travoy Pointer.
And it's going to be a great conversation. But I want to let the people know, Bless This Conversation, what it's about. Bless This Conversation is about transparency. People with testimonies. I want to hear people's perspective, what they have experienced in life. Not sugarcoating anything, not watering anything down. And Bless This Conversation is exactly what it is. I want to bless other people through this conversation. Help you, give you some hope, give you some inspiration, give you some motivation. That's what I'm determined to do and when we do Bless This Conversation. So this is our first interview. I appreciate my guy
Absolutely
coming out. We have a Dallas Cowboy fan.
Yes.
Yeah, Dallas Cowboy fan. I would want to start out with something simple, man. Tell me a little bit about yourself, man.
Absolutely, man. Simple guy, man. Travoy, that's my name, from Dallas, Texas. I played basketball the first 20-some years of my life, so very sports driven, very competitive, all of that. I'm a father at this point, entrepreneur. And I just feel like every one individual should be just empowered. Kind of where you're coming from. Like position yourself, get to build your kingdom, have your own perspective and build, do something great for yourself. So I'm a person that wants to put out that energy and see people do well. That's really what it is for me.
That's what's up. That's what's up, man. When we pulled up, when we came, when I stepped out of the car, even before I got to you, I was like, man, bro, got good energy. When we talked on the phone, I was like, man, we got good energy.
Sure.
How would you say, like, where your head, where your mind is at right now? Like, how you feeling?
That's a great question, man. It's crazy because you don't get asked that question a lot. Let me be 100 with you. My son at 9 asked me that question 2 weeks ago. And he asked me, he said, how are you? I said, whoa, this is my 9-year-old son asking me that question. And no adult has truly asked me that question. And you're like probably the second one to actually ask that question. So that's just an interesting situation right there. But honestly, I feel really good. I feel like I'm hitting my prime in life. I feel like I'm 35, right? So I feel like I've lived, I told you this other day, I lived like 5 lifetimes already. So I feel like I'm entering a prime at this point and it's time to take off. So I'm feeling good. I'm feeling, do I have challenges like everybody else? Absolutely. I'm coming out of situations, but I feel at my prime. You know what I mean? So that's where I'm at. That's
good. I don't think we ask each other that as often as we should. You know what I'm saying? I think as Black men, I think it's important for us to check on each other. You know what I'm saying? Sure. And I think it's important to actually, if the opportunity presents itself, go ahead and get it off, whatever the case may be.
Absolutely.
The mental health is very important. You can walk past people who smiling, look like they're in a great having, and the whole time, really be dealing with a lot. What you said? Athlete, went to school. You said a father. Relationship status.
Separated. Getting ready to get I'm separated right now. I'm actually filing for divorce in 2 weeks.
Filing for divorce in 2 weeks. 35 years old.
Yes, sir.
Been married before?
First one.
And how long were you married?
Close to, it would have been 3 years full, August 10th, but the separation started August 1.
August 1.
Yeah, 2025 this year.
I'm glad you said that, man, because I desire marriage.
For sure.
My brother here, he's married, get a lot of great advice, a lot of things to look forward to. But it's interesting that you said that we're talking about divorce. Before we get into that, I want to ask you, was it anybody that you could talk to about what this looked like before?
I got this face because that's a crazy question. I love it. No. I mean, in a lot of situations in my life, I hadn't been able to talk to anyone before.
Yeah.
Entrepreneurship, I didn't get a chance to talk to anyone before. Fatherhood, didn't get a chance to talk to anyone before.
Right.
You know what I mean? Marriage, I didn't get a chance to talk to anybody before. And I think, and I know that if I would have been able to talk to someone before, that it would have been a whole different experience for me. Not to take anything from my experience in these situations and all the other stuff that I've done, but when you have guidance, a blueprint, that helps the situation. It doesn't take away from the work though. So no, to your question, I did not have a chance to talk to anyone before. Wish I would have.
Okay. Any counseling? No, so no counseling either, not just people No counseling.
If I can be honest, we raw dogged it.
Wow.
and it just was from a lack of understanding, a lack of experience, a lack of just, again, not knowing. And a lot of times people get in situations where they get into something real thick and it's going to do two things. It's going to make or break them. You're going to either learn through it and say, okay, I'm growing through this experience. I'm learning, I'm adjusting. Don't judge yourself. Don't beat yourself up. Right. Or you're going to get so thick in it where you lose yourself completely and it's a wrap. It's a wrap for you.
Question. So not talking to anybody, is anybody in your family married? Like, did you have any examples that you kind of modeled, looked at?
My mom and dad divorced when I was 6 years old. You want me to tell you? I'll give you the example of a family that I had, a Black family. So I've seen other ethnicities and other races and families, and like, oh, that looks great, and you know what I mean. And then also, you can't judge a book by its cover. Everybody got stuff going on, right? From all, and I've seen it, right? So, but in our culture, my representation of a family was, I don't know if you know CJ Miles.
Yeah.
Okay, so I went to Dallas Skyline, and he was a senior when I was a freshman. So I ended up playing varsity, played as I practiced with the varsity guys. So I got close to that family. Cam, his younger brother, all that, I got real close with them. And so when I would go to their house at 14, 15, I got a chance to see an American Black family, right? You got a son that's going to the league, you got a sister, you got a son, you got a younger daughter, two parent household. That was beautiful to me. Did I understand it at 14? No, I had no idea what it was. I just knew that this felt comfortable because it was unlike anything that I had seen growing up.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that was my first view of a family, a Black family. But other than that, it's not like I sit down and talk to them about how this works.
Right.
Just, okay, well, now I'm 17. You know what I mean? So
dang, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Because with me, you know, desiring marriage, you know, at this age now, I'm asking a lot of questions. Just
for sure.
Thank God that I'm around some people that I can, because none of the Black men in my family are married, or the women. So, and never seen it. Like you said, there might have been two and few here and there that I looked at and like, man, that's dope. Not really understanding the work in between that man have put in. You feel what I'm saying?
In the gym hard, man.
Yeah. So I do. I guess to an extent, I want to commend you for
sure.
I gotta, like, how long, how did you meet this person?
So here's an interesting story. So I was actually, this is so crazy I'm saying this. I was breaking up with the mother of my child now. And like I said, it was like a 2-week span where we were broken up. And if I'm being honest, I already knew that wasn't gonna. So mentally, I'd already checked out from a relationship standpoint, still trying to make it work. But at some point, like, hey, I can't do anything about this. So 2 weeks, I had already kind of moved on mentally and got into this relationship. I was working at Amazon. I was having a transition in my life. We had broke up. You know, you leave the apartment, you know, everything breaks, right? My son walked out the house with me, and that was very difficult to deal with as well. And then here I am, I'm working at Amazon. I'm doing the warehouse thing, making a transition, grinding it out. And I meet, you know, my now wife. And we just, you know, it was a good energy. It was a great energy. It was fun. It was fresh. It was new. And, you know, we had a great conversation and went from there.
That's interesting. How long were you in a relationship with your child's mom?
Right. 8 years.
Not married?
Not married.
Now look here.
He got questions.
Now look here.
Go for it.
No, I just find it's interesting. Did it ever cross your mind to marry her in the 8? And did it cause some turmoil that you met somebody 2 weeks? Because how long was it till you married her?
6 months. Yeah. Now you're seeing, so,
Well, yeah, I'm wondering.
You're seeing this is the breakdown mentally where I was at. Now, this is just one area in my life, right? You still got, as a man, as an entrepreneur, as a father, as just trying to learn, as a, you know, just all the things that we deal with. This aspect here as a relationship, there's a whole different depth to that we can go into, which is when you look at that 8 years here, and then 6 months here I am marrying this person. Right. There's some stuff to unpack there for sure.
Yeah. So, okay, let's see if we can unpack any of it.
Yeah.
When you with your kids, because I'm guessing y'all were together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was full. Yeah, full throttle together. Yeah.
How old is your son?
9.
9.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So at the point where you explain the transition to 2 weeks, because I'm assuming as a man that long, sometimes it's on and off.
Yeah, about a year. We had 1 year where we were not together
At all.
You get into it. You have little pouts and whatever, but it was one legit year that we were not together.
Okay.
And then I actually reached back out to her. I think it was around 2019. So 2018, that year was like a single man. I was like, oh, I'm by myself as an adult. Weird. Then I reached back out to her in 2019 because I wanted a family. I wanted, the mother of my child and my son in one household. That was a desire that I had. So that's kind of how it.
May I ask how y'all like the breakups? What were some of the reasons? Let's just on your end.
Yeah, for sure. You talking about which one? Like
your kid's mom, your son's mom.
I think so. She's a Hispanic, and I'm saying that because there's just different belief systems right there, and it's not too different because it is what it is. But I think that and I'm a pretty different dude too, man. I was a guy. I'm very optimistic. I want to build. I want to be on the same page. I want to communicate. So I honestly, admittedly, it's not that I require a lot from my partner, but there's expectations for us to build something. And not to say that it has to be the same thing. Like you do what I do what you do. But like, I want to communicate thoroughly. I want to know what your goals are and know where you are in life. And sometimes what I'm learning is that's too much for people at times. And they don't want that type of pressure. And I don't look at it as pressure. This is just me trying to understand who you are. So I think, those two worlds colliding was just different, and ultimately it didn't aline long term. So that makes sense. So it creates conflict. If I'm out and I'm like, hey, I got to work. I'm trying to build something. Hey, maybe we can get 2 incomes for this period of time. Like, you know what I mean? I'm trying to provide a solution to where we need to get ultimately. Yeah. Okay. And that can create conflict at times.
I am curious to know she's Hispanic. I am curious to know what her faith, like what does she believe in as far?
So at the time, just Christian, household for the most part, traditional for the most part. We didn't go to the church a lot, but it was, more so Christian based, God based, that type of scenario.
Okay. Okay. Now I want to get to this transition.
Yeah.
2 weeks, you're at Amazon, meet this girl, this woman, hit it off. What would you say, because how old were you? Because we're talking 8 years with the kid's mom. So how were you when you met her?
I was 23. 23, yep.
Okay, we're talking different mindset, experience.
All that.
Probably know more of what you want, what you're looking for.
It just gets better every year too.
Get better.
For sure.
Amen to that.
Right.
So you meet her, your now wife, at Amazon. 2 weeks in, 6 months later, you married.
For sure.
Living together before the marriage?
Which I think we call it shacking up a little bit, I think.
Okay, because that's exactly where I was going to go.
Yeah, all that mixed into that, yeah.
I was wondering, was any other marriage, you don't have to answer this, I'm going to bring it back, was any other marriage kind of pressured and pushed to because of the shacking?
You can dive into that, not a problem answering that. So when I think about it now, yes.
Yeah.
As a Black man, our mindsets, I can't speak for everybody, but generally speaking, we want to people please. We want to make sure everybody's good. We want to make sure I take off my last shirt and give it to everybody and I don't have no shirt on and it's 20 degrees. I mean, we just go all out, right? And so my wife, her mindset was, Christian upbringing, very culture upbringing. Y'all can't be in here, shacking up and all that stuff and not married. So and also she's 10 years older than me. So she had that was 10 years older. So that was ingrained in her. Now I'm not knowing that. She just got 10 years of life experience on me. I can talk about all day. I'm mature, I'm grown, whatever, but somebody got 10 years of experience on you. Right. That's 10 years of experience on you in life. I don't care what you think you own. This person's just going to have more of an understanding of life than you do. This is a decade. So that's kind of how, and I didn't know that that's what was going on. I just was like, oh, I'm happy to be here because it looks like this is love going on right
now. Now I want to explain to that. I want to bless this conversation real quick. A lot of people probably wondering like how we even got here. Well, I had my brother Derek, my podcast, Dear Son Network. We were having a conversation about a man being fully prepared when he take a woman's hand.
That's how we got, for sure. So I'm scrolling. Yeah. Go ahead.
In that conversation, I was like, yeah, I think you should be prepared, mentally, physically, financially to carry that woman. And what I was saying was, even in that brokenness, I think in the moment you're saying, I'm gonna marry this woman. In evolving, you should be preparing all the time to fully do that.
Agreed.
Not saying you need to have all the money you have right now. You need to be all the way mental, because I also feel like your partner helps you heal too if it's the right person.
That's how it's supposed to go.
And vice versa. That's preparing, accountability. That I was saying it in that, and you got in the comment section.
I did. I kind of like, hold on, let me. And I wasn't coming on with no smoke.
Yeah.
It's just exactly what you said. There's some context, and like, we need, we online, we scrolling, you hear a 10-second clip, and it may move you a little bit. I'm in it heavy right now. So it didn't trigger me in a negative way, but it was like, hold on, let me give some energy to this real quick. And that's what it was.
Okay. I figured that. And that's how we got here. So
yeah.
In that
everything happens it's beautiful though. It's beautiful.
Let me back up a little bit and then come back to that. 10 years older than you.
Yeah.
Y'all were living together. So in the transition of leaving, you say it was 2 weeks, broke up from 8-year relationship. Were y'all living together before the 2 weeks? Did you transition from her house to this other girl house?
Yeah, it's man. Woo. So I was living with the girlfriend, the mother of my father's child. We split up. I'm transitioned to mom's spot for a little bit. Okay, this is where I'm at. Transition. This is 30, 31 years old. I'm like, okay, what are we doing? You know what I mean? So I'm with mom for a little bit. Then that's happening behind, and behind the scene or whatever. And then not even 4 weeks, 5 weeks, I'm not giving myself any time to stop. And this is just for a lack of understanding, just a lack of maturity in that area. And obviously I can happily have that conversation now because it's 5 years later. What I think now and how I operate now is nowhere near of what how I think at that time. But anyway, I'm not giving myself time to heal. I'm not giving myself time to process. I'm like, yo, and if I'm being honest with you, this is where my mind was at. I want a black woman. I want a black woman. I was with, my Hispanic woman, and I'm not knocking nobody, but I felt, man, this black woman is going to understand me a little bit more because we come from the same cloth. You know what I mean? We both from Oak Cliff.
Yeah.
And I just wanted a black woman in general because it just felt right.
Right.
So that was my mindset. And again, that's an emotional play. But I felt that that's what was important to me. Like, man, I'm building. I'm serious about being a man, being a provider, being a leader. Everything that you talked about in that clip, I'm preparing for that. And I'm like, I got to get a black queen to complete this puzzle. And we build. Like you said, we can't come into these situations thinking that we're going to have everything there. The system has not allowed us to do that anyway. So we got to just look at the whole facts of this. We've been set back for decades and centuries. So a lot of times you're not going to get people that are complete. But what we can do is we can match up, align, and build something that we see. And at the same time, on top of this, if you hadn't seen how that looks or ventured out to get an understanding of what that feels like or what it looks like, then you're not going to know where to go with it. You're going to be confused every time.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You know what I mean?
Yes,
So
sir. It's interesting because 10 years older than you, is this the first black woman you dating?
As an adult, yeah.
Before, because you say you were, I think, 23, with the mother of your son. No black girl before her.
At high school. I had some cool black girlfriends for sure in high school, but like, I mean, when I get to New York, it was just a whole different.
Yeah,
it was a whole different ballgame.
I want to really set the question up for you because I already know how this sound.
Right. Yeah. Oh, we can go there too. A lot of people think that I'm completely just, like this dude could be with a white girl, like, or it's a certain perspective that people have of me, and I'm really kind of finding out about it in the last couple of years. I'm like, oh, that's what people may think.
Nah, I'm gonna have to cut you out right there.
Gotcha.
The sisters right now gonna think you preyed on this woman who was 10 years older than you. Like it sounded opportunistic. Because on the strength of 8 years, didn't marry the Hispanic who you got a girl with, got a son with. 2 weeks, move in with mom, meet her, you're in her place. 6 months later, you married.
I hear you. Okay. Or it could be 10 years older. She sees a young black man coming up. He's got a good head on his shoulder. 2 kids already. This guy may be the play. Let me move him in, and it could.
She got 2.
She got 2.
Okay.
Two different fathers. Right. So whatever way we can look at it, there's a lot of ways to slice it.
Yeah.
And I can go whatever right. You know what I mean?
I had to ask.
Yeah. Come on.
The sisters will be in the comments way more than the men.
For sure.
So we don't get to hear. I ain't saying we're not here. They don't hear us, but it's sometimes because we have done it, they think we have done it to them so much. This is just another one who's done the exact same thing. For sure. Now, in the 6 months y'all living together, how did this conversation even come up?
That's a great question, because the wild thing on this is that it was looked at, and this was posted online about me. It was kind of made up that I didn't have anywhere else to go, that I was off the streets. This is what.
See, that's why I said.
No, let's keep it a buck. Like it was said that I came off the streets. Like and if I can be real with you, my wife posted this online, kind of just, bashing me a little bit. If I'm gonna keep it a buck, we're gonna be here, right?
That's good. Yeah.
I got him off the streets. I've seen text messages of her telling people I got him off the streets. No, I got a mom, I got a dad. You know what I mean? I could have.
What point did you find out about this? You already married, or this before the marriage?
No, this is. I mean, you know how we can't just do civil breakups and amicable breakups. It's got to be nasty, right? Yeah. So recently, over the last 3.5 months, I haven't even looked at nobody's page in the last 2 months. I've been in my own space because I'm moving forward. But you get that, like now everything that you've told me, or everything that I can change or whatever. This is how it is now. I got you off the streets. You didn't have nowhere to go. No, you didn't. I know how to make moves out here. You know what I mean? Right. So I did this because this is something that we were in alignment with, and it's something that we wanted to do. So the conversation was, this is actually how it went down. I said, listen, I'm with my mom right now. I'll come over a couple times a week, 2 times a week. Cause my 31-year-old self was like, you can't just jump into this like that. So and I'm trying to get that energy of like, okay, how you some foundation, some standards, some priorities here. So I'll come over 2 days a week. Now I need you to come over more than that. Okay. Well, as a man, if you're being desired, somebody wants more of your time and presence, that feels good for any man. We don't want to admit that a lot of times, but that feels good to be wanted. I need you to come over more. Okay, bet. Well, you get over there 4 times a week. Now I got shirts over here. You know what I mean? Now we cooking dinner, and now we, so then it transitions to, okay, I'm here. You want me to just come over full time now? Here's your key. That's how it. And that happened over the course of 2 or 3 weeks.
When y'all decided to get married, were you, in your mind at that time, at that present time, was you like, yeah, I can spend forever with this person?
Yes. In my mind, it was like, I got a black woman. She's attractive. And we have a really good conversation. And even now, that's not how you select a partner. It's not. Those can be some attributes and some characteristics of how you choose a partner.
How would you say to choose one?
I just, what's your mind? For me, a foundation, mind, body, spirit, and finances. So those are the 4 categories where I'm living in right today. So, hey, what are your thoughts on being a wife? What are your thoughts on being a parent? What are your thoughts on, finances? What are your thoughts on work? What are your thoughts on, building, this, let's talk about how we got here as a culture. So I need to know all these different, especially today at this point, because I'm not mingling with anybody if I don't have an understanding of what we're doing here. And so you can't do all that on day one, but over time there's a talking stage, right? There's a talking stage, and we jump the gun on that because of different agendas.
Yeah.
I had an agenda. I got me a black woman. She gonna understand. You ain't got to worry about this. I don't even know to even talk about it. Her agenda, honestly, I got somebody. I want to be married. I want to feel love. I want a man to come here. Da, 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 da. So we had two different agendas that superseded any sort of real foundational, alignment there, if that makes sense. And I don't regret it, but when I look back, 4 years later, there's no way that it should have went down that way.
Yeah. So, because I hadn't answered yet, but I know you said the mother of your child, your son, had Christian values. The wife, what was her faith and yours?
Deep Christian values for her. So she grew up church 5 days a week. You know what I mean? We in the choir. I believe she was in God's property. I mean, it's just rooted church conventions, the whole deal. I grew up like that a little bit. I would say up until the age of 6, 7. I was in church, that whole deal. But when my parents separated, single mom, we kind of hopped around a little bit, did Abach, we did Concord. But it wasn't as rooted. We'll go every other Sunday, maybe 2 Sundays out of the month. You know what I mean? That's kind of how it was from 8 to 15. After that, it just kind of tailed off. My belief system naturally growing up was Christian based. Did I know everything that entailed? No. But that's where I was. Now you asking me today or when I met her, no, not religious thinking at all. More so, okay, there's a higher power for sure. And I'm still trying to find out my relationship with the higher power. Yeah. That's kind of where I was at.
Okay. So I'm a believer.
For sure.
I don't go under the umbrella as Christian.
For sure.
I do believe we're the bloodline Israelites, you know what I'm saying?
Respect.
I do study the word. I do feel like that's, a big reason of where I am today. As far as the values, the principles, what it teach.
Right.
Like I said, I'm a man who desires marriage, so I do look at a lot of the things it say as far as when it comes to how to carry yourself as a man.
Yes, sir. Agreed.
Because I heard you say, it was here and there. It was the same thing with me growing up. My mama had a Bible sit on a nightstand. It, to me, collected dust.
Right. Yeah.
I've never heard my mama even pray out loud. I've never heard her pray out loud. I've never heard her cover me. The first time somebody prayed with me, I was in a cell. I was in a cell with my uncle. Like, give me your hands. We finna pray. And he was like, we finna pray. I'm like, okay, let's. I don't even know if it's
how this work.
Like what we're doing. And he was like, give me your hands.
I understand.
So the first time I heard somebody pray over me and pour into me at the same time, I was in a cell with my uncle after leaving a prison with my daddy.
That's different.
Yeah.
That's different.
So
yeah.
And I'm in a place in my life where, I'm 8.5 years in a prison sentence doing 10. Ooh. So I'm also looking at my auntie and them went to church. My granny went to church. I've seen them struggle all their life.
Come on now.
I have not seen the power that y'all say that is in them. So by the time I started studying for myself, because the word say study to show myself proof, I started to want to get an understanding for myself.
You just said it.
Not the group thinking, but I'm open to the fellowship. I'm open to, but not the. It's controlling things. You're not gonna control me in a way where I'm a robot.
There we go.
Not a human in relationship.
There we go.
With the Most High.
There we go.
Getting with your wife now. Do y'all have kids?
That's an interesting question. So she is actually pregnant. Hey, I know the smoke gonna come through. I already know. It's like I said earlier. I'm in my own situation right now.
Let me say, I'm gonna come back to that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna come back to that. I'm gonna come back to that. I'm gonna say on the faith.
For sure.
So where you at now with your faith? Like,
great question. So it's very similar to what the Hebrew Israelite perspective is very natural for me at this point. I'm an independent thinker. I don't want to be controlled. I understand levels of control. I work corporate. I've been in a lot of different environments on all sides. We can get into all that if you want to.
Yes, sir.
I rubbed elbows with some very interesting, figures. So I understand how control works at a lot of different levels. So I'm aware of how manipulation, marketing, communication flows, right? Like 100%. You're not going to play me.
Right.
So I'm all for the principles. I'm a very principle-based person. Ethics, morals, standards. Let's get it. You know what I mean? Especially from where we're coming from. We have to be on point. Yeah. Right. And we also have to realize, like, we got to let things grow over time. So where I'm coming from with this is that I'm with you. I got the word of Yah in my home.
Yes, sir.
And I make sure to touch that book 1 or 2 times a week. Am I perfect? No. Do I always pick up the book? No. And on that, I think a lot of people use that book as a way to form control over people and manipulate. And I don't play that game anymore.
Right.
Growing up, when you're a teenager or when you're adolescent, you don't know that game is being played on you. But I've seen it so much that I'm over it. So you're not going to control me and tell me I got to wear this or I got to say this or I got to be here or you're wrong. We're not doing that no more.
You sound very adamant when you say that, as if it affected your marriage somewhere.
Absolutely, it did. Absolutely.
Can you recall any like specifics where you noticed the pressure from the book? This is what you're going to do. This is what you should do. This is how you should be.
For sure. So my wife was, again, deep Christian based, and and this is my perspective, that Christianity comes to a degree, and I'm not disrespecting anybody. I got love for everybody, but I'm gonna shoot it straight. There is a legitimate depth of control that comes with religion, and when you're in that, you have to be here. Like cats is getting out of church. They do the church 7 to 10. They getting out. They going to go do some lunch, and they got to be back at 3. And they got, like this is 5 days a week, but it's like who talking about budgeting, saving, investing, morals in the household, parenthood. Are we talking about all the real things that are day to day that we need to really understand how to do to come together?
Okay, let me cut you right there.
Yeah, what's up?
Now, you said 2 weeks you made a transition from this to that, from your mom to moving in. At the age you said she 10 years older than you.
I was 31.
You was 31.
31.
Okay, now listening to the principles that you just stated, in the 6 months in, 10 years older than you, one question, yes or no. Do you feel she groomed or conditioned you in any way?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Because listening to you, it sounds like maybe some power was taken away from you somewhere, because you have an idea that you as a man, as a lead, can I be frank?
Right.
There's a weakness. There was a weakness somewhere.
Absolutely.
We have to have accountability before.
Absolutely.
Of course, we can have a conversation about what she done.
For sure.
Her ways.
For sure.
Things that you as a man.
Absolutely.
You still went along.
Absolutely. 100%.
Why?
Because of what you said. I had an extreme level of weakness in that area. I had no idea what I was doing.
Any opportunistic thoughts, honestly?
No.
Yeah.
Dude, I don't have to put a mask on for me. Yeah. I'm going to keep it a buck because I know where I'm going. Yeah. I know what I'm trying to do. My purpose is set. I've connected with the Most High to understand. And it grows. You find, you don't learn at 40. I'm going to be thinking a little bit different from now, right? It's cool. But that base foundation, I know what I'm here for.
Even in the moment where you were not healed.
Right.
You weren't thinking, this is a good opportunity.
For
this
sure.
Is a good, this could.
What I'm thinking is that the opportunity is, I got a black woman right here.
Okay.
Black woman, black men, we're both meshing, alignment. This is what people need to see.
How old are her children?
This is crazy. When I got with her, one was 15. So I'm
living with her.
Living with her.
Both of them.
Sophomore.
Okay.
So that's what, I'm 20 years older.
Mm-hmm.
I think. Yep. No. Sorry. So probably like 17 years, I think.
Okay.
So 17 years, something like that, 15 years, something like that. So it's like baby sister, right? Check this out. Her other daughter, older daughter, was 10 years younger than me. So we got 15.
She was 23.
Correct. Right. So I'm my stepdaughter.
Was she still living with her too?
On and off.
Okay.
At the time, no, but there was a point that she moved back.
Okay.
Right. So my stepdaughters are old enough to be my younger sisters.
Mm-hmm.
So there was one point in my household, I got 5 generations. I got my son, 7, 8, whatever that is. Stepdaughter, 15, 16, whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
My oldest stepdaughter, right. 20, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm 35 or 30. What, you know what I mean? Yeah. Over the years. And then I got my wife who's 10 years older than me.
Yeah.
So we got 5 generations in the household. I'm low key in the middle because I got internet age and traditional. Right. My wife has straight, just traditional. The 2 younger ones are straight internet, and you know what I mean? So yeah. I'm in the middle seeing all this.
So if you wasn't at a healed place in the 2 weeks, you had to even crumble more.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
Even at the point of the marriage.
Absolutely.
At the point of saying, I do, there's had to be a whole nother level of.
You don't fully know all the way.
Yeah. At what point were you laying down or wherever and you was like, I'm tripping?
That's a great question. Yeah. So wow, that's interesting. So because again, I talked about it earlier, as men and then as black men, there's a different level of just expectation that we have on us as black men. And honestly, we are those dudes. Like I think black men are the most powerful people on the planet.
Come on with it, man.
Right? You know what I'm saying? So but if our power is used in a way that doesn't work well for us, then we are like the weakest on the planet. You know what I mean? And we got to identify that to know like, nah, my being is the dopest. We move culture. So back to where you're coming from, I didn't know that I wasn't healed in the first 6 months a year. All I knew is that there is this desire to try to do the right thing. She brought up marriage first. My thought was like, hold on, okay. I just got out of this. This is cool. This is great. And I'm all for the family, alignment. But like, but then at the same time, like you said, the weakness that I had at the time and the immaturity was like, I'm just going to go with it.
Okay. In knowing all of this, what can you say right now as a man you wasn't ready for, wasn't prepared for, mistakes you made in the marriage? Did you cheat during the marriage?
No.
In the infidelity?
No.
Close to it? Any emotional attention somewhere else?
No. I mean, you see little baddies here and there, but like right. But on it, no. Dude.
I had to ask that because
No, go for it, because at the end of my last relationship,
verbal abuse. Well, the argument is,
what's the definition of verbal abuse?
Tearing down.
I've been direct at times.
The blame, because you could be direct, but also being direct. Sometimes you gotta be careful with making sure you ain't trying to, and that's part of. I'm sure every relationship has done it. I've done it. Yeah. I've most definitely can weaponize my words. It's one gift that's a blessing and a curse for me. I can really say that, because I want to not just hone on the unhealed, how you were, how she were, blending the family. What are some of the things as a man?
Right. Got you on that.
Communication, affection, like those, like what can you say? What, even if it wasn't going to work anyway, what are some of the things you're going to do better now as a lead?
Gotcha. So great question. Let me give you what was going on, and then let me give you where I'm at now. So when I got in that relationship, there was, and people talk about it all the time, when you're in a marriage, you're going to learn so much. The mirror is there. When you're with somebody that you have committed to mentally, spiritually, you're going to have a mirror. You're going to find a lot about yourself. And I found that I had some jealousy in me that I didn't know. I had some immaturity that I didn't know.
Let's pause on the jealousy. Let's expound.
Okay.
Jealousy in what fashion?
I want to
bless the conversation.
Yeah,
real quick.
For sure.
I have had a sense of jealousy in a relationship with the level of love her parents had for her. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I didn't even realize what it was because I had never experienced it. You know what I'm saying? The level of just love that was just there.
You're not used to it.
Not used to that. You know what I'm saying? Right. And I could find myself at times having to check myself not to make that an issue for her. That's beautiful. But I just wanted to say that.
No, that's big.
But I am curious to know what was it you that made you jealous?
Sure. And it's real because before that, I'm like, I'm good. I know who I am. You know what I mean? But that marriage creates a different element of a person that it's like, I got to venture into this and get to know myself more in this area. So for me, when I got into that marriage, as a man, you want to prove yourself to yourself and your woman that you're that dude. So I'm looking like, okay, I'm building this. I'm here. I'm working. I'm grinding. I'm building. You watching me. Like, honor me. I want you to love me. I want you to appreciate it. I want you to, stroke my shoulder sometime and make me feel good about myself.
Yeah, we got ego.
And I don't know how to communicate that in a mature way. So I'm also seeing my wife hop online and she fall into this dude, hearing this. And what became frustrating to me, it's not that I was in fear of my woman leaving or whatever. It's, I'm the one that's taking care of you. I'm the one that's holding it down. I'm the one seeing you every day in your situation or whatever, good or bad. Like, bring that energy over here to me. I want that, right? I don't know how to communicate that at the same time at that age as well. So you also see, I know how influence work. My wife was online. Other guys will say something in a 13-second clip, and she, and you know what I mean? And she was also in a self-discovery phase as well. So she was transitioning from what she was going through traumatically to her being as just a woman. So it was very easy for her to adopt other perspectives. And it just seemed that it was more men than women. And that bothered me because I'm like, you got an example of a real one in my eyes right here next to you. I don't want to feel like I don't have appropriate influence.
I could see how they could.
That bothered me.
Yeah. What else did you say? You said jealousy, and then you said
just a lack of maturity, understanding how to lead. Like I said, I think it's setting boundaries and expectations. I did not set any boundaries. I told my wife, I'll be like, I'm never going to tell you no. It's either we can't do it right now, or you got it, right? But I didn't set appropriate masculine boundaries at all for the first year and a half. And it didn't start to get me until 2 years into the relationship.
Give me 3 of them boundaries you wish you would have said.
No, being able to say no. Hey, we don't have the money for this right now. You know what I mean? Like, we want to do that. We need to wait 3 weeks, right?
And this is how it's going.
Yeah. This is what it is. I'm not gonna, because you're looking good in that dress right now. I'm not gonna change how I need to orchestrate this situation. Or think about it, I'm 31. I got a 20-some-year-old stepdaughter. I got a 9-year-old son that's not here all the time, but coming. And I got a 15-year-old, 16-year-old stepdaughter. So we got Raising Cane's, we got Chick-fil-A's, we got mall. You know what I mean? The pressure that and then I'm going to church every now and then. So we got to dress the part. We got all this BS that we gotta do.
That you conform to.
That I conform to. My masculinity was ripped
diminished.
From me. And I didn't know that until later. I grow every day. I'm paying attention. I'm observing. But if you don't know something, you don't know it until you experience it enough to look back and say, okay, this is how you need to I'm always looking to see how to improve a situation for myself first. And when I do that, it allows me to improve the situation around me.
What's your relationship with your pops?
My pops?
I'm asking because I didn't have that kind of guidance.
Sure.
And when I'm listening to you, I'm listening to there's a lack of male role model
100%.
that's consistently there helping perspective,
Absolutely,
mindset, communication, how to deal with a woman, how to simply apologize.
Ooh, I'm getting chills in my body right now listening to you.
What was your pops or male role model?
Yeah, so single mom. I was living with my dad up until the age of 6. They separated, and then after that, I didn't see my dad really for 10 years. 10 years.
16.
So 6 to 16.
16, 17 years old. How was that mending that after that much time?
Well,
even when he came back?
I was pretty like solo growing up. So this is kind of weird to say, but I don't have a lot. I never developed a lot of emotions. I have emotions, but I know how to flick them off like a light switch, because when you don't have certain things that are happening to you, you just, okay, this is how it's supposed to go. So I didn't have a problem with it. And I didn't know that it was necessarily needed at the time either. I just was like, okay, this is life. I'm 13. I play ball. My mom is, doing her thing. I got to try to figure out how to make it to the league. That's where that is just as simple as that. And I'm going to go play Madden. You know what I mean? That's all. That's where I was at, or 2K, whatever we're doing. So at 16, I got a job at Whataburger. My dad has been a GM at IHOP and Whataburger for a long time over there. He's like known in that world for sure. And he got me not my first job, but like one of my first jobs. So the crazy part is when I reconnected with my father, and it's not like I wasn't going to his house throughout those years. I didn't have a legit relationship with my dad like that. No problems though. So anyway, 16, I got the job at Whataburger. I was working as a cashier, and I was headed to college. So mind you, I'm going from Oak Cliff. I mean, I've been around Dallas, but my base was Oak Cliff, and I'm about to head to New York. It's a whole different chapter that's about to open up for me. So I wanted a MacBook. And the way the relationship kicked back off at 16 is I was working. I said, hey, I want a MacBook. It's going to be $1,000, right? He said, hey, you work your job this summer. You get half. I put up half, and then you get so that was kind of how it started back, and then it kind of, go from there. So
okay. Can you think of any lessons your father acted like gems he dropped on you as a man? Let's say when you 23, when coming back, how old were you when you had your son?
26.
26.
Yeah.
At that age, can you say that there was some kind of like legit guidance, like solid, understanding he was there? Presence is
for sure
is a given for us,
right?
Black men, period.
Right, for sure.
Can you reflect on like conversation like you had? You know what I'm saying? Because I couldn't do it up until I got in the cell with my dad and got out.
No, real talk.
Even when my mama just here recently, I can't think of like where situations came up and I was able to say, Mama, I'm gonna get in trouble.
Yeah.
I know I'm gonna be mad about this.
It already happened.
But not how to really assess a situation or deal with or communicate
for sure
something.
For sure.
Because you said something that I guess I want to say kind of triggered me.
Yeah.
When you talked about your emotions, being emotionally available. How, do you feel like you suffered that for a long period of time, even up to now? You said, I have emotions, but.
Right. That's a big question to unpack. So let me address the first part you said about my dad. Like the relationship with my dad over the last year and a half, 2 years has strengthened. So the gems that you're talking about, I kind of just heard them. Because I'm going to be real with you right now. I'm in a transitional phase because I am back in transition. So I'm living with my dad right now. So now I can understand to a degree why some things that he did when I was younger, now I got to be in solitude. I got to work. I got to make sure I stay focused. I can't I got to focus on me. And some of it, and I'm going to be honest with you, some of it can be questionable because there's a 10-year gap where I didn't even really, I don't know if he came to a basketball game, right? Yeah. Didn't come to the basketball game. But some of it I understand now at 35. So the GMs that you're talking about, I've gotten a few in the last couple months because it appears that right now I'm just a standalone single man, and now we can have that. I moved. I'm kind of intertwined a little bit. I moved my family to my dad's house in 2024 because we lost everything after the apartment fire. So there's a lot of stuff that you obviously have covering here, but we didn't really talk much because I had a whole wife and 3 kids. I was fun, just bringing to the environment. So with that being said, nobody talked to me really. All this is muscle. Your situation is muscle. Yeah. You got to get it. You know what I mean? That's why I got a mindset where I'm like, yo, let's go. Let's make it shake. What's the play? But then there's a mindset where I'm like, reserve, stay back. Okay, cool. You know what I mean? What we doing? Observing the scene. So, and as far as emotional, we need to possess emotional intelligence based on our survival. I had someone ask me a couple of days, why don't you get angry? They basically wanted to see my angry or my expression. And I'm like, listen, do you know if I get into that space, I don't even know what will happen.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like we can just flip the whole setup in 10 seconds. You don't want that. I don't want that. Right. I want to be able to be in a position where I can travel the world, love, and be in servitude and have abundance. Yeah. If I retract, if I'm going working out, if I'm building my business, if I'm going hard at work, if I'm taking fatherhood, that is energy from anger and frustration and being limited for so long, being transferred into this energy in this light. So don't take that away from me. And I'm not letting anybody take that from me at this point.
That's real. That's real. I respect that. I commend you for that, man. It's two other things I want to hit real quick before we wrap this up.
For sure.
I seen an interview with Cam Newton months ago.
Okay.
With Dr. Bryant.
Okay. Yeah. Ooh. Interesting.
You probably know where I'm going there.
Probably. I mean, it's a lot that was said in there, but I kind of have an idea.
Because I'm curious to know what you think about this and how you feel about this particular thing.
For sure.
She brought up him making broken homes.
Okay.
First mother that you're not with. Now a marriage. And you said she's pregnant right now.
For sure.
In the middle of a divorce. How do you feel about being separated from your children who you made these humans with? Cam Newton said, I'm doing the best I can. Those experiences happened.
For sure.
Life kept going. And now I can only do. What's your thought on society saying you created 2 broken homes?
Right. And I got that too. I don't love the concept of it. I don't love so I told you earlier, I did not want the mother of my child to leave that. Right. And this is where people don't tap in a little bit deeper. Men don't want to, most of the time.
I already know where you're going.
Men don't want to do that. We don't want chaos in our world. We already got enough chaos in our world. I'm not going to create, you think I want to? You know what comes with that? Governmentally speaking?
Yeah.
You already know what time it is on that. I can go there.
Yeah.
But you know where that's going to go. You know where the last situation went. Yeah. You already know before I even have to say it. So you think I want to create that chaos in my world? No. But for the sake now, especially where maturity is, my peace, my ability to build something that's valuable, that's going to not only help me, but help myself and the next generations to come, and also inspire other people to be great as well. I can't let another soul or another religion or another concept prevent that. Because when you know your purpose and you get locked in with the creator and what he wants for you to do and be that like image of what he's speaking to us and not all the extra stuff, because we put a lot of fluff on this stuff and it's really simple, then you start to cut bait on certain things. And I'm not trying to sound cutthroat.
Nah, what you're describing is forgiving yourself.
You see what I'm saying? And I there was a point where I would have done anything for my wife. Anything. You know how many counts I flipped trying to save us, and you know what I mean? It's a lot of stuff, right? So I'm gonna end it here. You get to a point at a certain, and some men don't ever get there. I'm happy to get there at 35. That's why I talked about earlier. I feel like I'm in my prime because I see the game. I see when somebody's trying to play me. I see where they being intentional and I see it all. It's cool. So if you're not gonna interfere with that piece.
You're right.
It's important. I got to build something. You either with it, and I promise you, I'm gonna make your life better and easier. You're not gonna tear it down though.
Yeah.
And I have to be firm on that and have a boundary to say, okay, this is starting to tear down what I'm trying to do for you, me, the kid, and I can't allow that anymore.
You kind of probably already answered this last one. Then, what would be the thing you would want to bless the people with in this conversation after everything we've talked about so far?
Yeah.
I know it's so much more.
Yeah.
Because I like what you just said. You forgave yourself.
For sure.
You know, mistakes were made. You know, greatness was given, and in all of that, I still come out and I'm saying I'm refining myself, and you're not going to guilt trip me.
Oh, no.
I'm gonna free myself from that. What would you bless the people with in this conversation as much as a Black man?
Absolutely. So just to give you just a really quick thing, I got some bad advice from older Black men. I'll be honest with you, and it rubbed me the wrong way because it brought out this, and I'm not trying to be judgmental, a weakness that I saw in us as leaders. I'm like, you can't insist that I keep being disrespected and stay in a relationship that's not working for me long term after you tried everything. And so the advice that I got from certain individuals that I was like, okay, how is this person telling me this? You're telling me to read the Bible, but you're also telling me to be okay with being controlled and manipulated and disrespected. That's a problem. So I'm gonna put that there. What I would say is very simple, man. I'm a foundational guy. Mind, body, spirit, and finances. Brother, put that first. As much as we want to perform at the highest level as fathers, as husbands, as sons, as brothers, all these different relationships and things that we get into, as much as we want to perform or be at the best in those situations, you cannot do that until you have your foundation on point, until you know who you are, you become aware, you start to fix yourself, address it. Don't let problems persist. Address the problem. Smallest to the largest. If there's a problem in your life, address it. And then be patient enough to allow it to flow and, build over time. So again, mind, body, spirit, and finances. Focus on getting 1% better every day, and allow, everything else to just progress from there. That was to put it in a simple form for sure.
That's real, man. I appreciate the interview today. It took a lot. It's a lot. We might have to come back.
I'm with it, bro. This is what it's about.
This was healthy, man. Brought a lot of understanding, which I know is a lot of other questions. But two scriptures did come to mind when I was just listening to you close. Seek ye first his kingdom and his righteousness, and all things will be added unto you. That's Matthew 6:33. And then another one that's really one of my favorites is 2. They talk about draw near to him and he'll draw near to you. When you was talking about mind, body, spirit, finances, to me that's a drawing near in the understanding. And going back to the seek ye first his kingdom and his righteousness, and all things will be added unto you. Yeah. I really want to hit on the journey that you're describing, and seeking him and getting understanding, not just because you said people have told you read the Bible, but put up with, A, B, and C, and X, Y, and Z.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't believe in putting up with abuse.
Nobody should believe in that.
I do believe in the word. I know I will say this though. There is only one reason that gives a believer to exit from a marriage. Sure. That's infidelity.
For sure.
You said there were none.
Right, correct.
I want to say this. We have to be careful in making decisions. There's another scripture where he said, it's better to not vow at all than to vow and not pay. Mm-hmm. The weakness that we can have at times as men, wanting to give the shirt off our back to women, wanting to carry the family, which sometimes prevent us from being vulnerable because in our mind of surviving, we're just saying, we're going to figure this out. We're going to work it out. Sure. And then a lot of times over time, we are putting ourselves in a deeper hole that he never intended us to be in.
There we go. You speaking. I mean, that's
never intended us to be in. There's a lot of people who's made vows that ain't even got nothing to do with marriage, but also you're making a vow that's similar, that's just equivalent to marriage. When you get on your knees and you say, I ain't gonna do it again. That is a promise. That is a vow.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same thing as when you standing before and you say, I do.
Right.
For better or for worse, for rich
Right.
or for poor. You're vowing. It's better to not vow it out and to not pay.
It's important.
Yeah.
It's important.
And, as a Black man, no judgment.
Right.
Because I understand the journey of becoming better, becoming more. And there's no space for this.
Right.
There's a lot of people who are listening and say, well, he, and don't understand that first one without.
Right.
Is the first.
Right.
You afraid to tell your truth. You're afraid.
What's the splinter? What's the verse? I think it may be in Matthew about the splinter in your eye.
Quit looking at the speck in your brothers and get the plank out of yours.
There it is.
The plank symbolizes you don't even see yourself. You don't want to be transparent and open for somebody else to pick apart what you did.
If I can just say this real quick, I've learned to be open to that. The fact that people are gonna have opinions about you. I had somebody just straight up lie on me. Mm-hmm. It was said that I was violent with my woman, my wife. She said that I was violent with her. I'm afraid to put my hands on you, sweetie. You think I'm gonna put my hands on you? I got a lot of value that I'm working with right here. If I put my hands on you, that's done.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna put my hands on you for the sake of the value that I have, let alone if I'm mad enough to put physically. That's not how I even roll. So the fact that you can go online and speak that word, that comes back on how it would be viewed on me. So I had to learn how to let that go. People gonna have opinions. They gonna say this, they gonna say that. But until you live, put on my shoes. Bro, it's gonna be a whole different ball game. You put on my shoes.
Now I am gonna end it after this, but I got to do this. I have not heard you take some accountability.
Sure.
I have not heard you. I've heard you reference several times her. Mm-hmm. I have not heard the after, even in the separation.
Sure.
I have not heard no real. They came off as justifiable excuses because of your maturity and where you were. Not I really, and I apologize for that. That I haven't heard because I don't want her.
Yeah, I got you.
I don't want people to listen. I do want to give you that opportunity to eat something.
Right.
Because I know. Because
you want to give me 30 seconds to
give? I said, I'm waiting. I'm waiting for brother to eat something. Because you gotta, your end sound bad.
I get it.
I ain't saying hers don't because I don't know her all, but I know 8 years a child didn't marry a Hispanic. 2 weeks, meet somebody in a transition, living with your mama.
Sure.
Meet her. I want you to come more and more and more and more and more.
Sure.
As you went 6 months, you married her.
Uh-huh.
3 years later, pregnant, divorced at your pops. Eat something.
There's a lot of in that story that if you give me 30 quick seconds, there was a time, 2023, May, she came to me and said, I don't want to work anymore. I was making really good money as a sales rep. I do life insurance sales. So, and I have been doing that for 10 years. So I have that skill set. I was making really good money. I said, hey, you've gone through a lot. You're 42 years old. You're going through a lot. Go ahead. I gave her, take off. There's no man in her world that has given her that freedom. I'm just keeping it a buck with you. She said, hey, I said, take off. Do what you got to do. She was able to not work. She didn't work for 2 years. 2 years. So there's a lot of pieces that's not in here. Now, as far as accountability from my end, I think there was just a level of weakness for sure that I just didn't have. I didn't have boundaries. I didn't know how to speak up for myself. I was immature in a lot of cases. And I'm a person that it's a buildup for me. I don't get aggressive or frustrated at first because my mindset is patience, build. When we got about 2.5 years, 2 years and some change, I became verbally abusive, if you will.
Okay.
I became more aggressive. Like, nah, this ain't it.
Build up.
I'm going to tell you how I feel at this point, because what I've done at this point is I've allowed so much grace and room. I sacrifice, gave you so much, this and this. Now I feel like you just crapping on it.
Yep.
You don't respect it. You're not grateful for it. So now you're going to get hit with some verbal backlash. So yeah, you said, when I said, what does verbal abuse mean? Now I'm enforcing,
Gotcha.
I'm speaking my mind, I'm being honest and direct. That's going to hurt a little bit because you weren't used to that the first two years of mine.
After a build up though, so it don't sound like it came off gentle. It came from being passive, anger, bitterness, resentment.
Absolutely.
And then it came off.
Absolutely.
With that being said, bless this conversation.
Yeah. Right. Do the part two, because there's a lot. That's a great way to end it, man, because there's a lot.